the podcasts, wherein I take 100 movies that I think every movie watcher or just anyone who loves motion picture or the art of cinema, of pictures and light and dialogue that tells a great story. I got 100 of them for you that I think you should watch at least once, and I'll rank them for you from 100 to 1, because back when I thought of this idea, I thought it was a good one. And each one gets a 100-word review, how you get 100 for 100, the title, and a podcast hosted by me, your boy Seed, put out once a day for the first 100 days of the year 2020, a little 5-6 minute nugget of goodness to try to brighten your day in these trying times. Yesterday, we talked about our number 5 spot, 1974's The Godfather 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. You know, we're seeing Mike, middle-aged, I guess, Mike Corleone making his maneuvers there with the Las Vegas people, also with the Cuba people and Hyman Roth and all that kind of bit of business. Today, we come to a number 4 joint. That's a number 4 spot, a mere 2 years before Godfather 2. And it's a little movie called The Godfather. Also directed by Francis Ford Coppola, as of course he directed the whole trilogy. Let us get into the 100-word review for The Godfather. Let's check this out. Adapted from the eponymous novel by Mario Puzo, The Godfather will stand the test of time as one of the finest stories ever put on film. An incredible ensemble cast of Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Diane Keaton, James Caan, Bob Duvall, Talia Shire, and others flesh out an entire world that seduces and envelops the viewer. For 177 minutes, we are treated to the slow transition of Michael Corleone from mild-mannered war hero to ruthless, efficient crime boss. The Godfather's themes of family, loyalty, and consequences interweave throughout the lives of a family dedicated to their culture's old ways. Now, if you'll remember, yesterday, I said in the Godfather Part 2 review that Godfather Part 2 is one of the rare films that surpasses his predecessor, which might make you wonder why I have Godfather 1 above Godfather Part 2. And it's strictly my own personal selfishness, that's why. I'm of the rare minority that thinks that The Godfather is a better film than The Godfather 2. I acknowledge the fact that Godfather 2 is a fucking masterpiece of a film, but personally, I think the first Godfather is better. You get all the introductions. You get the big wedding. The wonderful music that Morricone made for da 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 da. And within that whole wedding sequence, you find out exactly who pretty much everyone is. You find out who Don Corleone is. You get that wonderful opening monologue. You know, I believe in America from Bonacera, and his whole bit of business. And those two bastards, they smiled at me. And you get a little bit of idea of who Tom Hagen is, the fact that he kind of runs the administrative side of things. You get a good idea of who Sonny Corleone is, as he's banging out one of the bridesmaids, or whatever the case is, one of the other girls out there. You get a good idea of who Michael and Kay are. Very meek, very mild-mannered. They stand out apart from everyone else who is in their usual traditional suits. Mike's in his army greens. Kay is in this bright pink, if I remember correctly, dress. You get an idea that Luca Brasi is a big man, an intimidating, imposing man, but mentally he's not quite all there. And you get to see how the Don deftly handles him. And it's that movie is amazing. It is wonderful. And just as things go down, you know, an opportunity is presented to them that Don Corleone thinks maybe this is something they should probably stay away from. Let's stick to the vices. Let's stick to the gambling. Let's stick to, you know, this, that, and the third. But they want him to get into the drug game, and he is not for that at all whatsoever. And, you know, they kind of let him know, hey, we're not going to Tatalias and the Barzinis. They had to let him know, hey, that's we're not going to sell for that. In order for this to work, if we don't need you, then we definitely need your people and your influence, which means Don Corleone, you have to go. So 5 shots. 5 shots, they still didn't kill him, point blank range. And then in that scene, you see how ineffectual Fredo is, the second brother. And then things kind of spin out of control from there. You go from mild-mannered Michael Corleone to these people tried to kill my father. And the scene where the turn happens isn't where he shoots them in the diner, although I do love that scene. The scene where he turns is that little monologue where the camera slowly pushes in and he is like, let's find him a safe place for him. Let's do this, that, and the third. Let's get him nice and comfortable. Make sure there's a gun planted. And then when the time comes, I'll kill him. And you're like, whoa. This is not the Mike that I just was introduced to 45 minutes ago in this movie. And even Santino, he's like, oh, this isn't the Army, where you shoot him from a mile away. You got to get up close and bada bing, they'll blow your brains all over your nice Ivy League suit, huh? You didn't want to get mixed up in the family business. What, this police chief smacked you in the face a little bit? So you see that's where the transition happens at. And you see the different various styles of leadership in this movie. Whereas Don Corleone is very gentle, very thoughtful, very kind to people. Santino is not that. He's very hot-tempered, very hot-headed. His enemies use that against him and lure him into a situation to pump him full of about 5,000 bullets. And then you get the full-fledged Michael by the end of this, and the murdering of the heads of the 5 families. I guess spoilers from a movie that came out in 1972. But you get to see that murder of the heads of the 5 families and Mike's consolidation for power. And it is a wonderful juxtaposition between the communion or the christening and the killings. Do you renounce Satan? I renounce Satan. And meanwhile, here's Clemenza with a box full of roses and a shotgun shooting people in an elevator. People getting shot up in hotel rooms. It is a wonderful film. It is wonderful. It is a flawless film. There is no fat that can be cut from The Godfather. So, that being said, if it's been a while, or if you never had before, and I haven't spoiled the whole damn thing for you, check out number 4 on our list, The Godfather.